Hello and welcome to another crypto review, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about none other than the famous Acala Network, which is building on Polkadot. Now I have done a tutorial on Acala Network, do check it out, it should pop up on the top right hand corner if you haven't watched it already, but I do recommend that you watch this video first to understand what Acala are all about before watching that tutorial, but likely you've seen the tutorial before if you've been following this channel for a while. And yeah, what is Acala all about? Well, first of all, just know that you cannot buy Acala at the moment. They're not having any token sale yet until Q4 of 2020. That's the estimated time. But we're going to dig straight into this website. I'm going to try and break it down for you in a simple way. We'll also take a look at GitHub, a little bit of the white paper because I found some interesting things there that you may be interested in, of course. And yeah, we'll get cracking very soon. But hey, if you're new here, my name is Claudio and this is CryptoSchain, the channel where I do crypto news, reviews, tutorials and interviews. So please hit that subscribe button and the like if you enjoyed this video. I would very much appreciate it, and as always, leave a comment below if you have any sort of questions. I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. So Acala.network, that's the website we're on here again, which the link can be found in the description of this video. Now, to wrap it up, it's a decentralized stablecoin platform powering cross-blockchain open finance applications. Basically, it's a loan platform. You could think of it that way, right? Just to keep it simple. So we've got Acala, we've got Karura, and we've got Mandala. Now, Mandala is the app, Acala Mandala, which is the app of which I've done a tutorial on a while ago. Acala is the main coin of Acala Network, and Karura is like the testnet coin of Acala Network, or the testnet token you could call it. Now, as we've got Polkadot and Kusama, Kusama is the testnet of Polkadot, so any change that gets applied on Polkadot first gets applied on Kusama. Sometimes there are projects that want to build independently on Kusama, right? So in this case, Karura are going to build on Kusama first. They're going to try and link to Kusama, which means that there's going to be a parachain auction on Kusama first. So Kusama holders will have to use the KSM token in order to take part in the token sale for Karura, and they'll be distributed KAOR tokens. Again, you can see more info on that in the white paper, which I'll be talking about a bit later in the video. But to keep things simple, once they launch on Karura, on Kusama, they need to launch Karura. Once that's done and everything's successful, then they're going to eventually launch Acala on Polkadot via a parachain auction. So there's no guarantee that they're actually going to be a parachain on Polkadot. They could end up being a parathread, and if you don't know what a parathread or a parachain are, do check out my Polkadot explained video, which should pop up on the top right hand corner depending on which platform you're watching this, or in the description of the video as well, in case you're watching this on a different platform than YouTube. Now, so we've got the Acala dollar here, which is actually a stable token. As you can see, the ticker is AUSD. You'll see it in the tutorial that I did on Acala, by the way, on Acala Mandala. So basically, this is what is going to be used for loans. When you're going to take a loan, you're going to take a loan in AUSD, right? And you're going to need to use collateral. So like you'll see in that tutorial that I did. Now, Acala dollar AUSD is a decentralized stablecoin that allows users to send and receive USD across any blockchain connected to the Polkadot network. So that's pretty cool because it's going to be interoperable. Now we've got the stable currency, so the multiple asset-backed decentralized digital currency without volatility, stable by design. AUSD enables borderless and low-cost value transfer globally across all connected blockchains. We've got the stake and liquidity, so restaked assets dots are fungible and liquid assets called L dots. You're going to see these again in the tutorial that I did on Acala Mandala, and it'll all make sense when you see it in the tutorial. You can swap in and out, by the way, between ACA and L dot, or L dot and dot, and so on. I mean, there's so many variations that you can use within the app. And now you can extract the derivative value of the staked assets to fuel DeFi without sacrificing the security of the whole network. So that's really the purpose of having L dot here. Powered by Polkadot, of course. Now Polkadot have also invested in Acala, so that is a big thing. You'll see in the tutorials that I've did on both Polka Wallet and the web wallet for Polkadot. I've done these recently, so if you look on my webs on the channel, you will see them. The cool thing is that Acala have actually got a large batch of DOT. So they're part of the foundation as well, right? Together with the rest of the teams. So that is pretty cool because it tells you that these guys have a large shot at getting this parachain auction. You know, if they don't get the parachain slot, I'd be very, very surprised. And surprisingly, they've actually got a backup plan as well, which we'll talk about later in the video. Now, influenced by ownership, of course, a decentralized network governed entirely by Acala Network, the ACA holders to achieve a transparent future, a future based on more truth and less trust. So they will be talking about the actual use case of the ACA token as well. Now, you can borrow AUSD and manage outstanding loan. You can earn interest on AUSD. You can trade tokens on the decentralized exchange, and you can participate in governance by ACA holders. So here we go. This is one of the use cases for ACA. You can participate in governance, any kind of voting, any kind of changes that are taking place within the Acala Network ecosystem within Polkadot. Of course, you can go to the app directly from here. Now I've got the token economy here. The Acala white paper, which we'll talk about in a moment. Some more information on decentralized sovereignty. We've got the foundational council members. We've got Ruta Su here, who's a co-founder of Acala, but he's also a co-founder and CEO of Laminar. So again, I have done a tutorial on Laminar, which is the exchange where you can leverage trade using your wallet pretty much. And again, be very careful when they launch on mainnet with leverage exchanges because they're already very, very high risk. You can leverage up to 5x or 10x. You can do 10x in the testnet app to play around, but if you're not a trader, just be very careful because it's very easy to lose out. We've got Fuayao Jiang, who's the co-founder of Acala, and what I found interesting is that he's also the founder of Polka Wallet, which is one of the recommended Polkadot wallets, which is the Polkadot's mobile wallet that I've done a tutorial on as well. He was instrumental in building the Polkadot community and outreach. So that's pretty cool, right? We've got these guys which are working as part of the Polkadot community on Acala. We've got Brian Chen, who's actually on Telegram quite a bit, together with Beth Chen, who we'll talk about in a moment. There's the roadmap here. 2019 Q3 was the signing of the initial members. Development kickoff happened then as well. 2020 Q1 is the testnet candidate, and we don't have any more info after that, right? So it ends here, but I think that they're gonna basically have the information on 2020 Q4 here next, because that's when they're planning to launch the token sale, which is going to happen, again, just a reminder, on Kusama first as Karura, and then if that's successful, then we're going to have Acala on Polkadot, which is the second one. So we've got head of collaboration here. We've got Ermal Kalechi, who's a software engineer, and here you can see he's working for Laminar, but also for Acala. So all these different people here. And Beth Chen, who's the chief operating officer. She's got a background in software engineering, by the way. I checked out her LinkedIn page. You can find her on LinkedIn and all her previous careers, of course. For transparency reasons, I do recommend you do that with some of these people, just for transparency purposes, you know, for peace of mind, basically. Sean Wang as well. So yeah, interestingly enough, it says here she's a chief operating officer, but she's actually a co-founder as well, right? Together with this guy here, Ruta Su. Because I've seen both of them actually talk to Blockchain Brad. If you haven't watched Blockchain Brad's video, it is a very long video, over an hour, but they do talk about Acala in detail. They're like, they go really, really in depth, like. And he's got everything in the description timed out, so you can see all the different points that he mentions. But I mean, really in depth, like it's really technical. They've got the partners here. Web3 Foundation is one of them. You can get involved if you're interested as well. They've got the ecosystem project, so the program identifies and supports projects that integrate with Acala's technology, USD stable tokens, L.dot stake and liquidity, decentralized exchange, etc. And here we've got something interesting. So here are more partners. These are proof of liveness partners. We've got Acala Network, which was actually airdropped to Kusama holders. Soon they're gonna launch Chainlink, of course, which are the decentralized oracles on Ethereum. ChainX, which are gonna be used as a bridge on Polkadot. to bridge other blockchains together with Chainlink. They're gonna work, I think, hand in hand somehow. Chainlink are the oracles which are transferring the data from different blockchains, and then we've got Chainx, which is bridging between those blockchains. But I think it's more from a technical point of view. I don't really understand. I need to do more digging on Chainx. I know I've heard of them quite a while back, but I haven't done a proper in-depth analysis on them, so I'll need to do that. Subsocial, again, I've heard of them, quite a new project. They're on Telegram. They've got a really friendly admin. They're also going to be building. Apparently they've got some issues with the from a regulation point of view in terms of creating the token, because everybody who's joining Subsocial's Telegram channel are constantly asking about where can we buy the token. Apparently there's a 10 million total supply, so people are quite bullish on that. Ontology, which surprised me here, are apparently also partners. Centrifuge, again, another big project on Polkadot that I've got my eyes on. Moonbeam, Subscan, Sunpool, Polka World, so quite a few of them as you can see here. A few more here. Anchor as well is one of them that I've recognized. I don't recognize all the other ones there. And yeah, this is pretty much it. Let's move on and talk a little bit about the GitHub page. So here we can see that they're actually active and they're building. How can we see that? Well, we can see here that they've updated this 4 hours ago, the Acala chain here. These are the programming languages that they're using: TypeScript, JavaScript, Rust. These are all the people that are contributing. As you can see here, one of these guys is from the team. I mean, most of these guys are from the team, the ones with photos that I've showed you earlier. This guy here, we recognize him because we've seen him on the main page. So we can see they're making changes to the official website as well. Everything is being done open source here. So if you understand programming, do check this out if you want to find out how they're progressing, right? And if we take a look at the white paper here, this is the economy white paper. What I found weird is that they're not telling you here that the total supply is 100 million, but I do know that the total supply is 100 million. So I find it weird that it's not mentioned here. It should have been mentioned. Perhaps they made some change to the white paper, I'm not sure, or to the tokenomics. But basically they're saying here, they're giving us information on the network utility, how to close CDPs that have been created to generate AUSD in the Acala network. Some ACA tokens are required to be paid as the stability fee. So here, this is another use case for Acala. So if you're holding ACA, hence why it's important, you know, hence why we think, or I think at least, that the price may eventually go up hard when there's going to be a need, when there's going to be a use for their platform, right? There are many DeFi platforms out there, so they've got a lot of competitors, but the fact that they've been funded by Polkadot, they're building on Polkadot, they've got that edge, right? Again, they've got other competitors, like for example, Mantra DAO, you know, building on Rio. I'm going to be doing a review on them too pretty soon. We've got Staffy, but Staffy have a different, I mean, Staking Finance are doing things in a different way. They're more focused on DeFi from the point of view of staking assets across other blockchains, whereas Acala are purely for loans, right? I mean, you've got that platform which is purely for loans. You want to get a loan, you can get a loan on Acala. You don't need to go elsewhere. You can even do swaps on Acala as well. You can swap between DOT and ACA or AUSD in and out without using an exchange. You just go to the app and you just do it, right? Obviously there has to be liquidity there, but it can be done. Minting and distribution of ACA tokens. So the total supply of ACA tokens will be minted at the launch of the mainnet and stored in the reserve pool. Here we can see that 20.25% will be reserved for the founders, 10.7% for the ecosystem, 18% reserved for future investment rounds. Private was 10%. Reward 34%, so this is the important one here, including 30% to IPO participants with detailed proposal, and the rest to network contributions such as Oracle operators and collaterals. So 30% are going to IPO participants, which again are going to be the people staking DOT in order to help Acala bond to that parachain. IEO, initial exchange offering, is 7%. They're going to be available after the IPO. We don't know on which exchange, and I see people asking over and over again. Again, we don't have that information. As you can see, we can only go by what we have in this white paper for now, until the team release the funds, release the information officially. Unless required as a contingency solution, no more ACA tokens will be minted afterwards the launch of mainnet. So unless required as a contingency solution. So this is a bit scary here, because obviously they can mint them. This kind of worries me, but it's not like a big worry. It's just something to know, right? It's something to keep in mind that they can mint more tokens if they want to. And I don't know why they call them tokens if they're going to be a parachain, because that's like, you know, ACA should be the coin, but maybe that's how it's going to be called. Now the stability fee, the burning of ACA tokens, so it is deflationary as well. It kind of, I don't know, I mean, it's going to be deflationary, that's the token model, but if there's a contingency solution, it will be inflationary, right? So I don't know. Now 5% is the fee. I've done this when I covered in the tutorial. When I took a loan, I actually showed and I spoke about that specific area. When you're taking a loan, that they do charge 5% fee. So once received, the ACA tokens will be automatically burnt by the system and permanently removed from the ACA supply. There's the liquidation penalty as well, so all open CDPs are constantly monitored by the system, and for each type of collateral, ACA holders vote a liquidation ratio, a certain limit at the amount of over collateralization a CDP requires to meet to avoid liquidation. Once the value of the CDP collateral has fallen below the liquidation ratio, then the CDP becomes risky and is automatically liquidated by the system in a collateral auction mechanism. Collateral auction is designed to operate in two phases to be fair to CDP owners, that only the part of collateral that is enough to cover both the outstanding debt in the CDP and a liquidation penalty. So yeah, I mean, if the price falls below that liquidation penalty, then you know, you're gonna be liquidated and you're gonna lose your collateral. In my case, I actually used 1 BTC as collateral and I took a loan of $5,000. So obviously I had that extra gap in the sense that if BTC is not gonna drop to 5,500, I'm not gonna get liquidated. If it does, I'll be liquidated. Now we've got the parachain auction. So here they're reiterating how it's going to work. Again, it's very important to read the whole thing if you want to take part. Again, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Do check the disclaimer in the description. But if you want to take part in the parachain, you should really read this, because there's a lot of good information here. They explain to you all the different variations, how it's going to work, the whole mechanism. Again, there's going to be different slots. There's going to be 4 slots in total, each of them 6 months. They're actually looking at getting it for 6 years. So that means they're planning to eventually, after the first lease ends, if they manage to bond to the parachain for the maximum number of slots, which is 2 years, they're planning to do the auction again a second time and a third time. Because they believe that in 6 years they're gonna be mature enough in order to self-sustain, to no longer require a parachain slot later. So they'll eventually be looking at creating their own blockchain and linking it to Polkadot. So that's probably likely their strategy after 6 years, if you read this white paper. Now, what's interesting here, and I didn't know about this until I looked at the white paper, is parathreads, right? I spoke about this in my Polkadot explainer video, but in the case the parachain slot auction is not successful, they'll continue to launch the mainnet on parathreads instead, which are pay-as-you-go. So dots raised in IPO will be returned to their owners, and ACA tokens will still be minted at launch, but only distributed to Acala founders and seed investment partners, according to the original plan, with the rest reserved for future investment opportunities, including IPO in the second parachain auction. So that is a bit scary, because how will we see ACA in circulation, right, if they're a parathread? Not really, right? So again, they're reiterating the importance of or the reason why they don't really want a parathread, right? So compared to parachains, there are gas costs using parathreads depending on the frequency of validation. The more frequent a validation is processed, the safer the network is at a price of higher gas costs. So ACA holders will vote to determine the frequency. A small amount of ACA tokens will be released from the reserve and sold to public for dots daily to cover the entire gas cost of the network's daily validation. If the total gas costs are estimated to be 5 ACA tokens worth of dots for the day, 5 ACA tokens will be released and sold by the system. So another IPO will be raised to lease a parachain slot before the second parachain auction. So yeah, there's gonna be 3 rounds of parachain lot lease. So here we can see all this in-depth information. They've got a special case 1, they've got special case 2 in case something doesn't happen, right? Special case 3, 4. So they've really thought out the plan, how they're gonna distribute the ACA reward tokens during the IPO and so on. So yeah, I mean, just keep in mind that if you do plan to take part in this token sale, your DOT will be locked for 24 months if they manage to win, which is the maximum 2 years. But think of it like this: when you are taking part in an ICO on Ethereum, you're losing that Ethereum. You got the tokens, but you lost the Ethereum. Whereas here, you're paying with DOT because you want to take part in the token sale, and then you lock that DOT for 2 years. So don't think of it like, oh no, I'm locking my investment for 2 years. No, you're going to get it back, and it's not really your investment because most people just buy DOT purely to take part in the token sale, right? Just like they bought Ethereum to take part in the token sale for those ERC20 tokens in the ICOs, right? So yeah, I mean, it's exactly the same with this. And what's good is that after 2 years, you will actually get your DOT right back. So you're not really losing out. Sure, the price could go down in value, the price could pump. It all depends how the market's going to do in 2 years. But look, you're going to get it back at the end of the day. And you're also getting these tokens for taking part. Of course, you'll know the ratio in advance, so you'll know what to expect. Like if you lock one DOT, how many ACA will I get, right? And this is not only with Acala, this is going to be with every single parachain. But yeah, this is pretty much it. There isn't much more to talk about. Please do check out their white paper. All the links again will be in the description of the video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, please leave a comment below if you have any kind of questions. Take care and see you in my next video. Bye bye.